Hello everybody, my name is Abdul Laurada and I am here today to inform you all about the importance of domestic workers and the unjust abuse they are faced with. To start us off, a domestic worker is a person who is hired to carry out household chores in the employer's home or to perform cleaning duties in an apartment building. This category includes persons employed to clean stairs in an apartment building or as caregivers for children and or elderly persons, provided that the work is performed in the house of the child and or elderly person. Domestic work still remains a growing sector. There are over 2 million domestic workers across the United States who work in individual homes serving millions as caretakers for seniors, people with disabilities, children, and our homes. By 2026, care jobs will constitute one of the fastest growing professions in the country, and we will need even more caregivers and housekeepers than we have ever needed before. Home-based elder care is already the single fastest growing occupation in our entire economy due to the rapidly growing aging population. As we can see in the picture in the top left, 67 domestic workers across the world. And in the picture in the top right, 1 in every 25 women workers worldwide is a domestic worker. Furthermore, domestic workers who work in individual homes free up the time and attention of millions of working families by caring for our children, our aging parents, our loved ones living with disabilities, and our homes. Domestic work is the work that makes other work possible. In other words, domestic work along with its employees brings positive results to the community by allowing more income and also more benefiting the workers by giving them new and more opportunities to make livings in helpful ways. Hardworking and humble caretakers are the key to high quality care. Investing in caretakers and ensuring that they are financially stable takes care of their own families and makes them feel secure and safe in their jobs, allowing them to do their best work and provide the highest quality care. Being a domestic worker often means living in poverty and tolerating abuse. Caring is inherently personal and intimate work and takes place behind closed doors. The average domestic worker is paid $12 per hour, much less than other workers who are paid approximately $20 per hour. Even when compared with demographically similar workers, domestic workers on average are paid just 74 cents for every dollar that their peers make. These dynamics create a Wild West type environment, increasing the vulnerability of these workers. Studies of domestic workers have shown that they have little access to the protections many workers take for granted and that they are often afraid to report abuse for fear of retaliation. Despite all of the injustice that these amazing domestic workers face, several organizations have come together and came up with a solution to make the efforts of these individuals worth more of their time. Among other provisions, this law gives domestic workers the right to overtime pay at time and a half after 40 hours of work in a week, or 44 hours for workers who live in their employer's home, a day of rest aka 24 hours every 7 days or overtime pay if they agree to work on that day, 3 paid days of rest each year after 1 year of work for the same employer, and protection under New York State human rights law and the creation of a special cause of action for domestic workers who suffer sexual or racial harassment. The Domestic Workers Bill of Rights is legislation designed to grant basic labor protections to domestic workers. These laws are supported by the National Domestic Workers Alliance, a labor advocacy group founded in 2007. Domestic workers comprise a significant part of the global workforce in informal employment and are among the most vulnerable groups of workers. They work for private households, often without terms of employment, unregistered in any book, and excluded from the scope of labor legislation. Currently, there are at least 67 million domestic workers worldwide, not including child domestic workers, and this number is still increasingly steadily in developed and developing countries. This has been my talk on the importance of domestic workers and the abuse that they encounter. I hope you guys enjoyed my talk, and I hope you guys at least learned something, and have a good day. Alright, goodbye.